All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Aimbot. I am super excited for tonight. There's 3 really, really cool classic Doom showcases we have going on. We've got RedW4rr running the original Ultimate Doom, episode 1 through 4. Daerik running a mod pack that recently came out called Fractured Worlds, which has a lot of really cool, like, puzzly sort of tech in it. I watched the preview he sent me, and I'm really impressed at what the modders can do with this game. And then to cap off the night, we have ZELLLOOO running Doom 64 Watch Me Die max %, which is pretty wild. That's like the hardest difficulty in that game, and the fact that he can do 100% of that is really, really cool. So before I throw it over real quick, I do have a personal announcement. I usually like to keep these until after the first run, but this is something that I'm very excited about. GDQ is hosting a marathon concept that I put on called One and Done-a-thon. And submissions are open right now if you want to submit until November 21st. It's a series of marathons where whenever a runner gets in, that's the only time they can be in the marathon. So you get 1 game, 1 submission, and if you're in, you can never be in that series again. It doesn't affect your availability for other GDQ marathons, so don't worry about that. But if you'd like to submit, go to games.quick.com/hotfix and put something in on the forum. I'd be really happy to see you there. So, that said, without further ado, let's go over to RedW4rr and Ultimate Doom.
All right, what's up, GDQ chat? I'm RedW4rr, and I'm glad to be here, so thanks for having me here. I'll be showcasing Ultimate Doom, a game from 1993. Created by id Software. I wouldn't be surprised if there's anyone who does not know it. It's pretty popular. And in 1995, there was an add-on, including episode 4, or adding episode 4. It was 3 originally. And I'll be running all 4 episodes on the UV speed category. UV for ultra-violence, that's the difficulty. And speed, it's basically any % for today's standards. And yeah. I'm here, joined by Mythical. I'm hyped for that. Hey, Mythical, what's up?
Hi, I'm doing great. How about you?
Yeah, I couldn't complain. It's all good.
So I'm going to be doing most of the talking for this run, and you're just going to focus up, and we're all going to be okay.
That's true. There's a lot of things I have to take care of in the run, so yeah.
Well, we got a little bit to take care of before we get started, because Doom is so fast-paced, I just wanted to go over some things real quick before the run starts. The first is strafe running, which is pretty common in older games. GoldenEye on the N64 was a popular one. And how it works is the game treats your forwards movement and your sideways or strafing movement as 2 separate speed vectors. And so when you hold both directions, you add those vectors together. If you remember from your high school math class, you might be picturing a right-angled triangle, and there's a hypotenuse, and that's your new speed vector, and it's bigger, it's faster, but it's tilted off to the side a little bit. So Doom Guy's gonna be running on this weird diagonal the whole time. So that's why RedW4rr is going to be looking a little bit off to the side throughout the whole run. It also means you're never aiming where you're actually going, so it's going to present sort of a challenge throughout the run. Now, standard strafe running is called strafe run 40 or SR40 because normal strafing moves 40 units per tick, which is how Doom measures speed. You can just think of it as 40 miles per hour. And there's a way to increase it to 50 miles per hour by holding down 2 additional buttons, a button to turn left or right, and another button that changes that turn input to a strafe input. Most players use at least 1 mouse button for this because holding 4 buttons on the keyboard is very uncomfortable. It also has another big downside. Your turning input is always being converted into a strafe input, so you can't turn anymore. You're locked into the direction that you're facing until you release that strafe toggle button. And lastly, going from SR40 to SR50, as it's called, only increases your speed from 28% to 41% faster. It's not a lot, so you're only going to see it used very occasionally, specifically when we're trying to do a jump. You might hear me say jump sometimes. There's no jumping in Doom. It would be more accurate, I guess, to say falling with speed. And if you run fast enough, either through strafe running or from a boost from a rocket, you can cross a big gap before you fall down far enough and miss the jump, as it were. That's all I got to say for now. There'll be plenty more to talk about once we get started, but I'm ready to get going.
Yeah, thanks for covering the strafe running. It's a big part of the game, as you already mentioned. Yeah, I would like to take this opportunity for a few shoutouts. First of all, to King Dime. He's the reason why I got into this run. I've always loved his GDQ appearances on site. And he also has a tutorial on his YouTube channel. So if you want to get into this run, he's got you covered. And next one would be Bluethund, or Bloodhound, the English version of his name. He helped me set up Crispy Doom. It's a source code I'm using. He helped me a lot with that, so big shout outs to him as well. Furthermore, to Zero Master, he's a legend at this game and a true master. He also helped me with a few technical aspects of the game and the source ports. Well, to my girlfriend Hummingbird, she's gotten up with me in the middle of the night, so thanks for the support. And of course to you, Mythical. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, so I believe we're all settled and good to go. And the run...
Yeah, you can count us down.
Yeah, I will be doing that. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off. Playing on Ultra Violence here. This is sort of what most people consider the hardest normal difficulty. Nightmare is a bit crazy. And the first level, we took a little secret path to pick up some mega armor. You can see we have 189 armor. That's not so helpful right now. It's going to be really handy later on, particularly level 3. For now, level 2, we're going to shoot and hopefully wake up an enemy who's going to open the door for us on our way back down. We'll see if he does it. Yeah, there it is, nice and open. Thank you very much for helping us out. There's a lot of enemy manipulation like that going on. But there's only so much you can do. Doom is a very random game. The enemy movement and as well as enemy damage has these big, huge damage ranges. So this elevator at the end, for example, we'll see, no, the imp clipped down at the bottom, so now he's in our way down there, and we gotta try to take him out before we can jump down. That's just unlucky. That's just the way this run goes sometimes. We really want good luck for this level. Level 3, Toxin Refinery. We're going to be prioritizing killing these black-suited guys, these shotgunners. They can do between 3 and 45 damage with their shots, so you will just get absolutely shredded if you get unlucky here. This has not been the smoothest, but really good luck to not take too much damage during that whole sequence. So 56 health it's fine. This is fine. We can work with this. There are still a lot of shotgunners alive, though. Honestly, any run you can take that gets through this portion of the level, you'll be happy with. 33, oh my goodness, that shotgunner could have ended everything, but he didn't. Up to 50. This is still okay, but there are still a lot of hit scan enemies left at the end of the level here. We're gonna try to hide from a lot of them in these 2 corridors. You can see you just took a bunch of damage down to 37. I think he's gonna be okay, though.
Close.
Okay, nice. First try Toxin Refinery. The next level, we're gonna go into this little secret here for a bit extra health, as well as the backpack, which has a rocket in it. Rockets are really important ammunition for the first episode. All our rockets are routed out exactly. And we're gonna jump to the yellow key, SR50. Nice little precise jump here. It's not free. Yeah, there we go. It's normally, like, you can do it. You kind of count on being able to do it, but every now and then you'll miss it. And the door decides to open for us. Sometimes that door can be a little bit tricky. It's tagged incorrectly with a lift somewhere else in the level, and if the lift is doing something, the door won't open. It can be really frustrating, but we got a lucky door that time. And we managed to squeak past the Spectre enemy there twice, actually. That's really nicely done. That is not so easy to do at all. We needed to step on that little part on the floor in order to trigger this walkway that we're on right now. 10 health is really not where you want to be right now, so he's going to need to be very careful edging around the corner. He's going to shoot the barrel to take out some enemies and hopefully thin them out for later. We're going to be moving by this area again later on, and it really helps to sort of thin things out. Now, once we open this door, we're gonna try not to shoot. We don't want to alert the enemies and wake them up and have them moving around. So we're gonna try to just worm our way through here, and it doesn't work out because the enemies just happen to block you. This is just something that happens sometimes. We'll see if we can do better on the next try. This barrel just does not want to blow up. Oh, perfect. There we go. So now these guys don't react until you turn the corner. This pinky demon doesn't know you're there till you slip right by him. and we get to take this sort of secret exit out this side path here. This is not only safer and faster, but it's got some goodies in there that we can use too, some health and some partial invisibility. This will mostly prevent hit scan enemies from being very accurate against you. They will sort of aim wildly to either side while you have this power up. It can be troublesome if you're up against enemies that throw projectiles, because now those projectiles are random and you might run into them where previously they would have definitely missed you. But there's so many hit scan enemies here that the partial invisibility is definitely a useful thing to have. Now there's a little bit of a shortcut through the middle of the map right here. I know it's hard to see in the darkness, but he did take it, and now he's just gonna try to get through these pinkies at the end, just crammed into this little small space. There we go, that was pretty good. There's a trick coming up. We are going to try to lure a shotgunner to stand underneath a door, because if it closes, let's see. Yes, he got it. It will lock us in the room for 30 seconds. So having a guy stand underneath it, the door kind of comes down on his head and then apologizes and politely goes back up immediately. So really important to save that 30 seconds. We got the blue key and we dip through a little secret path here to get a mega armor, another partial invisibility. And coming up, we're gonna be using a lot of rockets. There's a lot of enemies clustered up. These rockets are valuable, but they're put to good use here. And there's a lot of things going on. We stepped on a secret trigger to sort of lower this part of the level. Then there's a secret wall as a back door to the yellow key. We're gonna step on the bottom of the stairs to open another secret. And from now on, hopefully no shooting. So these imps are still when we turn the corner, and didn't quite get to be able to sneak past them. But it does make them a little more consistent when they're all in the same place. This backdoor secret sort of continues. We get a soul sphere for 100 health, and we pop out right next to this switch that we need to hit. That gets us into the final area of this level. It is kind of a mess in there. We're gonna use some rockets to clear out the initial wave of enemies, and then there's a switch in the corner. And when you, oh, there was a surprise imp waiting. Yes, rockets do a lot of splash damage. If you shoot something point blank with a rocket, you're probably dead. Even if you're not, you're probably gonna load a save. And this room floods with enemies when you hit this switch, and we want to try to clear out the specters here in front of the exit and then sneak in. Perfect. On to the next level. Computer station. This is maybe a good time to talk about how enemies and the player are considered infinitely tall in Doom. The game isn't really checking their height when it's looking at collisions, so these enemies at the bottom of this ledge will actually block you from running off of the ledge, even though you'd clearly sail right over their heads. So that's why we saw a sort of circuitous route around the top of the ledge to avoid them. There's some other odd interactions with this too. Enemies at the bottom of ledges can hit you with melee attacks while you're standing at the top, and vice versa. And hopefully none of this becomes a problem as we move through some of these big ledges at this part of the level. Now this has gone really well. It's very easy to get blocked in, take a bunch of damage from all those enemies on the way here. Having 100 health is just beautiful right now. And the chain gun is just ripping through all of these enemies. We're gonna step on this lift. Yes, get a little bit of height just to jump over the ledge and into this secret area. We get a soul sphere for this, and sort of like a nice quick shortcut over to this blue key. 168 health and now 100 armor is a pretty good spot to be in. If you can hold on to this, you can go into the boss fight in the next map just fine. But more than likely, all of these enemies in this final sequence are going to be chipping away at it. So we might need to pick up a little bit of a secret soul sphere to refill our health in the next map. We'll see how this goes. 132 is pretty good so far, actually.
I usually don't have that much health.
Yeah.
Entering the next map.
I think of it as like the soul sphere is part of the route, and then it's like I have a slim chance of being able to skip it, right?
Yeah,
and it looks like this, and that's where we are. So we ran right past it. We've got the rocket launcher out. The boss is 2 Barons of Hell. They take 5 rockets apiece. We're gonna try to split the damage a little bit and coax them to meet in the middle. Oh, everything just went wrong all of a sudden there. Oh, 2 wasted rockets. That's no good. We need all the rockets. We're trying to get the splash damage. The specters that are running around the room, eating a rocket.
Amazing.
This is tricky stuff. You are a little bit at the mercy of what the monsters decide to do here. Like this guy on the right just didn't walk left, and now he's somewhere that's not easy to hit. We're boxed in behind us by specters. I think he's gonna be able to do this. Okay, they're both dead, the walls are coming down, and we're gonna try to do a trick to jump off of this ledge as a stepping stone up onto these. Yes, perfect. That skips having to wait for some stairs to raise. They are so slow. You save like 11 seconds or something if you get that jump.
It's at least 20, 25, even. The stairs of shame.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Well, you did it. So we're on to episode 2, nice and quick now, firing a couple shots to sort of coax the enemies here at the bottom to be in a more favorable position. We get some health armor and a whole bunch of shells as well. And now these pinkies, demons, we want these out of our way. We're gonna try to kill as many as we can while we wait, but it's very tricky to get through here, and there's enemies waiting on the other side too. This has not gone well, but getting all the health packs has got him all the way back up to 100 on the other side, so that's pretty good. We've got a new enemy now. This red floating marinara meatball thing is a cacodemon, and it's a healthy boy. We don't want to try to kill it with a shotgun, so we're gonna patiently wait for it and run around it. This one too. And we're on to the next level. Episode 2 has got a lot more tricks in it. You're not just sort of playing the levels as much as you were in episode 1. This map has a strafe run over a gap directly into the exit. But first, we're gonna pick up a plasma gun. It's an incredible weapon. It does good damage. It can be safely used up close, unlike the rocket launcher. And it keeps enemies stunned while you're shooting them too. So it's a good thing to have. Here's the strafe run into the exit. Perfect. On to the next map. Gonna try not to fire any shots for a while so that enemies stay in fixed positions, and then as we run around and pick up the blue key, I can tell you about wall runs. It's really complicated. I only barely understand it. Doom splits your movement vector into 2 halves to improve collision detection. We'll see the wall run against this wall right here. Zip. Just a little bit, just a little kick of speed. Running into certain walls, I think they have to be north-south walls, at certain angles, those 2 halves of your movement vector get doubled to full size, and so you're effectively moving at double speed. That's about the best I can do in terms of explaining how it works. It's unfortunately not too useful. There are very few walls where you get the chance to use it, but every now and then, you'll see Red Warrior kind of cozy up against a wall and do that little zip. The start of Deimos Lab is pretty chill until this Baron is here, and you gotta dance around with him while you wait for this lift. There we go. Then you gotta nab the yellow key before you get crushed. And there is a Baron right behind him who is threatening to hit him, but it decided not to attack, so that's nice. We're gonna dip into a secret to get some plasma ammo, and then we're gonna take this teleporter, which is a nice sort of advantageous position for the next section. Got hit twice by the Cacodemon somehow. Very aggressive Cacodemon. 33 health. We hit the switch and get onto the rising ledge. That's the exit there. Why not just double back and pick up 100 free health?
Yeah, it's a little safer.
On to the next level. We're gonna do some sneaky movement in this room to hopefully avoid triggering 2 Barons of Hell. Yep, they're still locked up in their little closets up there. And then the rest of the level is pretty chill in terms of, you know, threats. You're not gonna die or anything, but movement, if you wanna go as fast as possible, movement through this section is incredibly tough because if you tap a wall even a little bit, it's gonna kill a bunch of your speed. These are a couple more wall runs. You don't even really get a chance to get going before you slam into the wall on the other side. But yeah, having perfect movement, keeping your shoulders off of these walls, really tough. Now we got a really big trick coming up. We are going to clip out of bounds. Step 1 is to activate a glitch called momentum preservation. This lets Doom Guy be sort of running into a wall while keeping his speed. And once you have that speed, you get lined up with a visual cue, and you use the knockback from a rocket to push us out of bounds. Let's see. Great. There it is. Unfortunately, there's no way back in bounds, but thankfully we can activate the end of level switch by lining ourselves up with it exactly. Absolutely super precise. He's mashing the use button. There it is. Okay. That was really quick, actually. Nicely done. So we're going to skip most of this level now with a really difficult rocket jump. We have this invulnerability, and that's nice. But there's enemies everywhere. You don't have enough time to set up like a nice pixel perfect setup. You kind of just got to wing it. and it's tough. It's really precise. So this could take a couple of tries to line this up. Uh-oh, yeah, you can't kill that guy with your last rocket or you'll have nothing to do the jump with. Oh, that one looked good. Dang it.
It did.
You can kind of tell based off of where the rocket connects. There we go, third try. And now we're on to the boss fight. To defeat the cyber demon, shoot it until it dies, ideally with a plasma gun that has about 185 cells. We came here with 190, so I was gonna say we might be able to finish him entirely with the plasma gun, but these lost souls got in our way a little bit, so maybe not. We might have to switch to the rocket launcher to finish him off. Just don't get hit by these rockets. They do so much damage. And there it is. We're on to episode 3 now. We're halfway through in terms of levels. In terms of length, though, we're not quite halfway yet. The levels do kind of get longer and harder. A shot there to lure the Cacodemons off to the left. Unfortunately, they will probably be on our way on the way back right now. That was pretty nice of them, actually. We'll see how nice these Pinky Demons feel like being. Very common to have to chew through all of these guys with your shotgun. At least it's only taking 2 shots to kill them. Yeah, okay, there's 3. It can sometimes take 3. Was able to kind of sneak past one at the end there. Not much you can do. Charging into this room full of imps is just gonna make you eat a ton of melee hits, so you gotta thin them out first. On to the next level. It's a pretty open level, so if you know where to go, you can really blast through it. We're gonna run around the outside, pick up a secret plasma gun, and then we're not gonna fire it. We don't wanna wake anything up. We're just gonna sort of sneak around, grab the blue key, sneak left past the Cacodemons, left past the Lost Souls. They might block us on the way out, but they don't.
Lucky.
Very, very smooth level 2. Pandemonium, level 3, we're gonna clear out some enemies down here. They're gonna be in our way when we're trying to jump down from a ledge on the way back. And then later on, we're gonna pick up the BFG, the big fancy gun. And it fires a big shot, it does decent damage, but the real damage comes from the invisible tracer rays that it shoots out afterwards. The timing and angle of them aren't very intuitive, but when you understand them, you can do cool stuff like fire a shot into a wall and then step around a corner and instantly have the tracers just clear out all the enemies in a room. We're gonna try to sneak left past all of these imps here. Yes, nicely done. Wonderful. On to map 4. First half of this map is, well, except for this pinky right here, is open enough that you can just kind of maneuver around all the monsters without firing a shot. It's pretty fun. But later on, we're gonna do a trick called a key bump. Now, when the game is checking collisions, it's looking one step ahead and kind of asking, is he in a wall now? If yes, don't move him there. But while it's doing that check, the game will still check for collision with nearby items. So even though it never actually puts you in the wall, there's a chance to pick up items as if you were. Now, if we line up correctly and run fast enough into this wall right here, look for this green line on the left side of the screen. Didn't get it, and you do have to kind of reload a save because the enemies are going to be in your way. Didn't get it again. It is a bit finicky, this trick.
There we go.
There it is. Yellow key in the inventory, picked up through the wall. Now, the end of the level is, difficult movement in tight corridors, but then there's this Cacodemon at the end. You're hoping he cooperates. That was pretty nice of him. On to Unholy Cathedral. The teleporters here are sort of meant to be very confusing, but when you know where to go, they just help you get around really quickly. So you blink and you'll miss this map after all these green flashes. We're gonna do another key bump to get the blue key from the ledge here. It doesn't save too much time, but it's a little bit more reliable than the other one. You'd think. Sometimes it just doesn't go. There we go. And into the teleporter. And that's basically the end of the level. There's some stuff in this hallway that might block us. We're gonna punch it with a Berserk Fist to get it out of our way. The Berserk upgrade upgrades your fist damage to like rocket launcher levels of damage. Very fun. On to the next map. Mount Erebus has this wonderful bitrate destroying fire blue texture that we love so much. We're gonna open the secret and get some cells. Those will be very useful for the next few maps. We're gonna use some rockets to clear out. Oh, unlucky. A rocket has a 7 out of 8 chance to kill a Spectre, I believe, so got the 1 out of 8 that it didn't just there. But there we go. We cleared out the way and got the blue key. This is all you need to finish the map, actually. There's all this stuff. I know you're probably curious what's going on with all this other stuff in the level, but nope.
Nope.
We're on to the next map. There are a lot of pinky demons blocking the way on this map, so when we get the chance, we're going to use the BFG to try and clear out a big chunk of them, because we're going to be moving through this main area of the map multiple times. There's the shot. Nice damage on all of them. We're going to be through that section multiple times, so having them out of the way is definitely worth the 40 cells for that one shot. We're into this sort of red key maze. This, once you get the red key and you hit the switch on the other side here, this opens up a bunch of teleporters to sort of the different parts of the final area of the map. And we're gonna definitely approach. Wow, this has not gone well. You can wiggle a little bit to avoid damage from the pinky demons, but the cooperation from the pinky demons just there with each other was kind of amazing.
Well played.
So there's some tricks here. We're going to strafe run over the gap. Got hung up a little bit on the wall, so we got to try that one again. This is going to get us the yellow key, and then we can strafe run back. We can take this yellow key over to the yellow key door, though your pathing has lured some lost souls into your way, so things are a little bit off script now. Going to have to improvise a little bit. This is kind of the way Doom runs go a lot of the time. There, try to take care of as many of those lost souls as we can. They're going to be in the way when we go back to this teleporter and jump to the exit. This bridge here is our destination. Nice, landed on it. It's really easy to either miss the jump or overrun it and run off the edge. The final map, maybe you saw the title of the map is DIS. It stands for Disappointing Final Boss. It's already dead. The tracer rays from the BFG, when you're point blank, they all hit the Spider Mastermind, and it just kills it. Now we're on to the 4th episode. You may have noticed he died immediately. This is because the 4th episode is very hard. Like we said before we got started, it was added later on. So it was kind of in response to players who had been playing Doom for like a year and a half and wanted more of a challenge. So they gave it to them. There is very little space to maneuver. There are a lot of threats. There's very little health and ammo. You can see this 24 health down to 9 now. You can save when you're doing a Doom run and load and stuff, but it's really easy to get yourself into kind of like an unwinnable situation. So it's a little bit scary. Honestly, this load back to 24 health makes me feel a little bit better.
A little, yeah.
All right, so we are doing a bit of a trick to grab this red key here. It's sort of a variation on a key bump. Grabbing it through the bars. You can just picture Doom Guy like reaching through the bars and just barely grabbing it. Lots of enemies teleport in once you grab that key. Somehow, none of them have hit Red Warrior. Fantastic. All right, there is some health available at the start of this map, not a lot. And we're going to be jumping onto a damaging floor just here, hitting a sort of trigger from down below to open up this way. And we're going to dip into a secret that has a Berserk pack, so thankfully we're up to 100 health now. And from this position, not only do we get a Mega Armor, we key bump a BFG through the wall. Whoa. First try, very nicely. Whoa, what's he doing there?
You found the way.
Oh, no. Oh, and you did the key bump so quickly, too. Oh, wow, first try again. Nicely done. And also from this position, we can jump past this blue pillar and into the final area of the map as well. So it's a really, really nice place to be, this little nook up in the corner here.
Again?
He's there again. Something about where you saved this has just sort of had this guy in this bad position. Oh, boy. At least you're getting the BFG really quickly each time. All right, the way is clear. Drops a save. There's the teleport.
Let's block him.
Now, you block the teleport? Okay. And then go? Oh, man, this is good thinking. Such improv. Oh, it took a hit and actually still made the jump, but wasn't ready to land it. Okay, there we go. And now hopefully the door opens. It does, but he gets blocked by some pinkies, so he's lost some cells, and he needs those cells really bad, so we gotta try it again. There's a trigger on the floor to hit the door, and it's really easy to miss it, especially when you're going really wide to pick up all those rockets. Much better.
Finally.
200. All right. Yeah, the fourth episode really is a totally different beast. This is not all that atypical of things that can happen when you're playing this. So we're gonna set up a rocket jump off this Lost Soul. It is really finicky. There's a lot of enemies that can block you on the other side. The Lost Soul itself is not so easy to work with, but that was really well done. Very quick rocket jump. And finally, we get a bit of a break. The fourth map, Unruly Evil, it's called. There's a free invulnerability like right here. It's gonna last for most of the rest of the map. There's no big tricks to do. The movement isn't particularly hard, so it's just a nice breather, I think, before we get back into the really hard stuff that episode 4 can have. This room is most of the map. You gotta hit this switch to lower this lift. You ride the lift, you take the left teleporter, you hit a switch. You hit the switch to lower the lift, you go back up. This time we're gonna go on the right side. You hit another switch. Then you hit the switch one last time to lower the lift, and this is gonna take us back up to the exit. Just as the invulnerability runs out, perfect. Map 5, we're getting down closer to the end of this now. We've got a castle map, and it's got kind of an interesting layout that we can take advantage of to finish pretty quickly once we get the red key, which is at the top of this lift. I don't think any of the routing we're gonna do here is unintended per se. It's just sort of a non-standard way to move throughout the map. Maybe you'll see what I mean. It's really not so crazy to think like a player could jump down here and then cross this little gap right here. And then this big window, I mean, it's just begging someone to run through it and hit the exit switch on the other side. Okay, break time's over. It's map 6, Against Thee Wickedly. This is the hardest map of the run. We're gonna duck into a secret area at the bottom of these stairs to pick up a couple extra cells. These are gonna come in handy. And then we're gonna wind our way around some precarious ledges over lava. There's this teleporter thing in the middle we're gonna try to jump to if we can. And the way this map is supposed to be played, the whole time there's a cyber demon shooting rockets at you that you can't really fight very well. Thankfully, he only comes out once you get the red key, and that's all you need to end the map, really. So, but you do have to deal with him. He is right in front of the exit in a very tiny room. It is so easy for him to just tag you with a rocket. You're not going to have enough health to survive a direct hit. Even the splash damage, because there's walls everywhere behind you, even if you dodge the rocket, the splash damage is still going to eat away at your health total. 74 health is not a lot of health to survive a bunch of splash damage from rockets. So yeah, he goes down once. This is absolutely expected. There's all these other enemies in the way too, complicating things. It's just such a mess, especially if you do start to take damage. The screen goes red and it's very blinding. You lose visibility. There's just so much that makes this difficult. Now he's in the room, but it's just not enough health to deal with the splash damage from the rockets, even if you do dodge them. Oh, this is good. This is good. A little bit more.
Okay, still in fight.
Little bit. Oh, wow, so lucky. So monsters will infight with each other. If one monster hits someone, he'll turn around and fight back, and you can watch them fight each other. And so really fortunate there that another enemy shot the cyber demon and sort of pulled his attention away. We take those, absolutely. So this map, the exit switch is in the floor, but if you know it's there, you can still press it, and you can jump directly to it by getting lined up on this door, strafe run over the gap, press it in the floor. There we go. On to the final map. And it's more than just a boss fight. There's a whole map here we got to do. We're going to use the BFG to clear out the left and right sides of this room, just absolutely filled with enemies. We're going to ignore the right side. The key you get there raises a bridge to the final door. We're going to rocket jump across it instead. But we do need to get the key that opens the door, so that's why we're on this side of the map. Nice movement around that Baron of Hell. And we also ignored picking up a safety health refill as well, so this has been about as speedy as this map can go. Really strong finish, it looks like. Here's the teleporter back to the middle area. BFG to kill this Baron of Hell behind the door. And now, with enemies in the way, we need to try to set up this rocket jump. All right, missed it. And he's across. All right. We get a health refill. The Spider Mastermind is there. It's still very weak to the BFG. It goes down. The exit is lowering. 20 health. Gonna try to get on this pillar and maybe jump into the exit a little bit early. Get ready on time. Okay, we're gonna just walk in.
And time.
That's time. 28:45. That's fantastic. That's like 2 minutes off your PB or something, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's 26 something. Yeah. Oh man, what a ride.
Congratulations.
That was
Thanks,
a really
man.
good
Episode
run.
4. It's such a fun run as well. Even though episode 4 is really that difficult, with the pinnacle being E4 M6. But it always feels so rewarding completing a run in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, E4M, I'm almost glad it didn't go so well so that people can see just what it's really like to play that map, because it truly is terrible sometimes.
Yeah, if you see the demos, which are movie runs, so you cannot load and save when recording demos, it looks so easy because you have to do it first try, literally, to kill the Cyber Demon, and you also have to rely on him being busy infighting with the Cacto Demons behind him or randomly from the other side of the map. If he's infighting, that's your best bet. If not, then he just decides you won't exit the game. And you also need him dead, because if he's still alive, the doors, the bars at the end won't open, so it is a requirement for him to be dead.
Well, you did it.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Really good run.
Yeah.
I was like
Thanks.
seeing those, just the speed in it and just the tight execution is so cool.
Can highly recommend getting into it. As I said, King Diamond has a tutorial on his YouTube channel. It's perfect to really get in touch with this run. Also the mechanics, he explains all the tricks, the lineups, setups. Go for it.
Yeah,
All right,
for sure.
then
Go for it.
thanks for having me here, and thanks again, Mythical, again, for your great commentary. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed the run. Thanks for having me.
So I've got a couple announcements before we go to break. If you missed any GDQ HotFix shows, the run that just happened or the Ocarina of Time randomizer just happened right before this, check out the archive of past runs and shows at youtube.com/gamesdonequick. And if you're watching this on YouTube, check us out at twitch.tv/gamesdonequick for the live shows, most nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. And before we go to break, HotFix is funded in part thanks to subscriptions and bits from viewers. So if you'd like to help support future broadcasts, or if you just want to hear the music on the break screen, feel free to drop us a subscription. I swear I can speak properly. And thank you again, Road Warrior. And we'll be taking a quick break and swapping over to Fractured Worlds.